My fellow citizens of the glorious Republic of Swordland, welcome back to a brand new episode of Suzerain. Last episode, Petter, we didn't exactly find out. We already suspected. We got confirmation that Petter was sleeping with my secretary. We got allegations that that secretary might be a spy, and we're awaiting for the results of that investigation to decide whether or not we fire Petter. We are going to fire Petter. It's just a matter of how badly are we gonna burn him, because he's already fucked up enough that I've decided I'm going to fire him. It's just if she turns out to be an actual spy, I'ma kick him out of the palace personally, possibly into a criminal investigation. Best friends be damned. Let's see, what do we have here? Results of the affair scandal. Several days have passed since ordered the investigation. Pedro and Olivia had been acting unnaturally nice to me. It's a moment of your time, of course. Our security team traveled to Lashaven to speak to the owners of the pub. Mr. No Name, they confirmed that when Livia Suno had worked there, their description of her did not match with that of your secretary. So she is a spy. However, it did match that of an unidentified corpse that... Better, I'm going to kill you myself. If that was Livia Suno, who's the woman working for me, no. Are you sure about this? So on the report from our intelligence officers, for an investigation by our operatives in Rumburg matched Miss Suno's description to a woman named Ilana Vance, last seen graduating from Krimslad Political Science Institute. Our whistleblower from Rumsburg recognized the name Vance as belonging to a deeply embedded covert agent, although he had previously assumed it was a man. How could you have missed all this? How could you have missed all this? As mentioned, Miss Suno was hired without background check. Yep. It's possible this all could have been avoided had any of Mr. Vectum's blood flown... Oh, this is a nice one. This is a nice burn. Okay, Lucian, this is a nice burn. None of that can be helped now. The question is, what are you going to do? Arrest her for espionage? Okay. We might be able to use this against Rumburg, so suggestions, Lucian. Standard procedure would be to try Miss Suno for espionage. If we do so, it's only a matter of time before the media pieces together what happened. Look like a fool for having her under my nose. Like, no, I don't mean kill her. I didn't mean kill her, I meant feed her false information. But no, yeah, I'll get Marcel on it. Asking Mr. Coranti. Yeah, Marcel Coranti. Be advisable, but you still have to do a fair amount of crisis management yourself. Starting by letting Peter Vettner take the fall. Yeah, I was planning on doing it, Lucian. I know you think it's better be a vice president, but enough is enough. It's my fault as much as he is. I should have suspected something. I know his actions were... No, I should have suspected something. You can share the blame, but you have to prepare for the public opinion to nosedive. Thankfully, Mr. Koronik softened the blow. Please take a moment to think about this. Mr. Vecton put you in danger by failing to order a background check on your closest personal staff. He betrayed your confidence to a woman with whom he was committing adultery. You did the same to your so-called best friend. Nope. I am your chief strategist. I have advised you what you believe is the best strategy, but of course the ultimate decision is yours. Yeah, Petter is taking the fall for this shit. He's the one who fucked up. Very well, I shall consult with our friend Mr. Coranty and write a statement for you to read at the press conference. I'll leave you to hand Miss Vance. With pleasure. Thank you. Carl, Carl Greiser, security. Yep. Is the cop. There's something you need, Mr. President? Please sit down. Why'd you call me in here? Ilana Vance, you are under arrest on suspicious of espionage. Please come with me. What the hell is going on, Mr. President? Have you let Lucian get to your head? I thought you were smarter than that. I thought I could trust my closest advisor. You're the stupid one. I'm sorry I had to come to this. Can't do this to me. You're the spy. What the hell? Anton, what's going on? Her name is Ilana. She's a spy. Livia, tell Petter who you really are. I won't say another word without a lawyer present. Except this. You're a sad old drunken lousy lay. Ouch! Honestly, if I were a Rumburg spy, I'd barely have to do a thing. You two have Sorland ripe for the taking. Okay. That's great. What the hell just happened? I'll tell you in my office. Feel free to take a moment first. You believed him? Well, better safe than sorry, especially after what she called me. Better. Mate, you're not making it out of this. At least we finally have this ordeal behind. I do. You don't. Get on with running the country, shall we? I have to tell you something. I want you to resign. I guess I deserve this, don't you? Yeah, you really do. Flandering put us all in danger. Sorry, Anton, I was never cut out for this job. You really weren't, but at least you got a nice house out of the deal. Unless Evelyn takes it in divorce. I sincerely hope she does, you cunt. I've got to prepare for the press conference. I suggest you do the same. Sure, Man, he did this to himself. He betrayed me. Mostly by stupidity, but still. Remember what we talked about, Mr. President? Thank you for coming. As you are aware, we will soon reform a secretary to the President of Sorland. Ilana Vance, the Rumburg spy who posed as my secretary, is currently on trial for espionage. Rest assured, the traitor shall be brought to justice. Rest assured, Rumburg will be made to answer for this illicit affront to a great country. Security breach this magnitude shall never happen again. However, the fact remains that she should never have been allowed to infiltrate our administration in the first place. That she did can be directly traced to the carelessness of one man, Peter Vectern. She did so by exploiting the weakness of Vice President Peter Vectern. Mr. Vectern's willingness to put his own infantile desires over Sorland's security has made him a threat to the state. Mr. Vectern's recklessness, to say nothing of his betrayal of Sorland's values, has disgraced my administration. Therefore, the Vice President shall be tried for his shameful actions against the state. If found guilty, Therefore, the Vice President has tendered his resignation effective immediately. Dude, you know I was gonna do this. No going back from this. You thought you're getting out of this? Mr. Vectorn, I'll be answering. Now, let him take the question. Can you give us a comment on your resignation? President Rain just about covered it. I'm a terrible vice president and a worse husband and a sad old drunk. Are you implying that you and the covered agent posing as President Rain's secretary were engaged in intimate relationships? Relations, yes. Intimate, I thought so at the time. Neither the president nor the vice president will be taking any more questions. Thank you. This is great. Guess I'll go to the palace and start packing my things then. I'll go with you. You're still my friend, come on. Even if I had to kick you in the ass. For your enormous stupidity. Shame about your friend, Mr. President, but it appears you will make it out of this unscathed. Thank fuck. At least that. Of course, there's now the matter of replacing both your secretary and your vice president. You're a little old to be my secretary, Lucian. Very funny, sir. Okay, what's in the news? Romberg infiltrated Maroon Palace, President's secretary arrested. More details forthcoming, but it appears the agent, whose real name is not yet known, managed to get past the palace's staff, stringent background checks, and obtain confidential information from within the Rain administration. Wait, what was the end? The president has taken swift decisive action. Yeah, good. President innocent in spy scandal. President Anton Rain vindicated himself in the recent Maroon Palace intelligence leak, revealed that Vice President Vectorn was responsible both for hiring Romberg's spy Elena Vance and disclosing sensitive information to her. President's secretary arrested for treason. Her trial is scheduled to begin in the next several days. In the meantime, the question of how an enemy spy was able to infiltrate the Maroon Palace on such a high level remains. President Rain has announced he will soon be holding a press conference. Okay, so this was before my press conference. Rain pins spy scandal, blame on Vectorn. Faced with an intelligence leak that could irreparably damage his administration, Anton Rain passed a buck to hapless VP Peter Vectorn, who was forced to resign during a press conference on the courthouse steps today. He accused Vectorn of hiring presidential secretary and roaming spy Livia Suno. Didn't accuse him, it's true. Without a proper background check, and even hinted that the two were carrying on an affair. His dismissal of Vectorn may satisfy some, but we are duty bound to get to the bottom of this scandal. Motherfuckers, I told you the truth. The moment I found out. Okay. Not really the moment I found out. I did take time to make sure I knew it was true. But still. Okay, anything new? Anything from Romberg? Nope. Okay. Briefing on the women's rights situation. Mr. President, Anton, before we start, I just wanted to thank you for agreeing to this meeting. I've been dreaming about this ever since I volunteered with the Swordfish League of Women. I can't believe the moment's finally here. I think both of you together could finally bring change to Suzerain. I hope you thought this through. I know this is why I already signed the decree to give women an equal education. That was a major step forward, but there's so much more to work that must be done. First off, Mr. President, I wish to thank you for pushing a decree on establishing gender equality. You know this is something I've been trying to accomplish since my appointment as minister. The situation in the public schools was disturbing for me. With that said, we still have a long way to go before Swordfish women are able to enjoy the same rights and privileges as men, or even as their counterparts in Arcadia and United Contana. We've been lagging behind this for decades. This is only a moral issue. I have seen enough revolutions on this world to understand that the main driver of any charge, money. In United Contana, law dictates that women earn the same wages as men in their respective fields. My research shows that this has led to a 15.5 increase in productivity. You could say this has a direct influence on their superpower status. Arcadia passed laws ensuring maternity leave rights, child day care centers, and tax deductions for working families. In turn, they experienced a 12.6 productivity boost and a flourishing economy. Both countries are also have significantly lower infant mortality rates. Statistic, I believe, is directly linked to the improved status of women. Our administration has thus far failed to pull Swordland out of its economic recession. So I am asking, why not try passing similar laws? At worst, even if they fail to improve the economy, they'll still be a significant step forward for our society. Something logical? I don't disagree. How much is this going to cost me, though? Two of us have talked it over, and these are the measures we believe are most urgent and needed. Criminalize... Wait, domestic violence isn't criminal? Fuck, this is worse than I thought. I should have to tell you how crucial this is. It's utterly unbelievable in this day and age. Scottish men are legally allowed to beat their... Fucking hell. Seriously? Yeah, give me a pen. I'll sign this right now. I agree, it's a travesty. Happy on the same page. As incidences are especially high within Bloodish communities, I also advocate setting up special domestic violence task force. Are we really gonna target the Bloods? Human rights organization. Are you sure that's something we ought to focus on? The Bloods are different, they have their own rules. Surprised at you, we can't let women suffer under the same patriarchy. I'm not sure criminalizing domestic violence should live off all sword women. Yeah, Bloods included. I don't particularly like targeting them specifically. Doesn't sounds like there could be some abuse of power and some. It's gonna be tricky. We can discuss the particular once the law has passed. Support for working mothers. Simply isn't fair that women in the workforce are punished for having children. Remember what I told you about Janice, my friend who basically got fired for becoming pregnant? That would never happen to a man. Paid maternity leave and state-subsidized daycare centers could be a key to keeping more mothers employed. Having children never hindered my career prospects, would have hindered a woman either. Equal treatment in the workforce. Right now, Swordland has one of the continent's largest pay gaps between men and women. We need legislation ensuring that women doing the same job as a man is paid for the same wage. We would also introduce quotas to get more women into positions of power and in the assembly, for instance, on the boards of corporations. Eventually, narrowing the pay gap is a far more pressing issue, as it would bring financial independence to countless lower-income women. We never talked about this, but I always thought that with more women in power, higher status for all women would naturally follow. I think I don't. Quotas are an imperfect solution to this problem, but they do kind of work, even if imperfectly. There, in a perfect world, there would be better solutions, but quotas do kind of work. But my views are more. We shouldn't have quotas. We should strive to build a society where quotas aren't needed, which would be just in line with having women get paid the same. Quota seems far easier to implement. I don't see a problem with quotas, but tackling the pay gap is much more urgent. Yep. Thank you, Mr. President. That covers all subjects. What are your thoughts so far? I'm not sure I can risk. You made a good cause for all these changes. You can pull this off before the elections. Green administration will make history. Yeah, probably not re-election though. Let's talk about how to proceed. I want to establish a commission for women's rights in Sutherland with me as its head. Our goal shall be passing and implementing a set of laws to solve the problems we just discussed. As the Commission's spokeswoman, my responsibility will be to make speeches and organize fundraisers. I will be the face of this movement while Kiara handles the groundwork. If I can show that the First Lady is behind this movement, many women will feel encouraged. especially those who aren't keen on pantsuits. The organization's name will be Commission on the Status of Women. It's going to be damn hard getting your laws passed in the Assembly. What do you need the Commission for? I'll run your... It's going to be hard to get your laws past the Assembly. I know, but even a watered-down version would be better than nothing. One more thing, consider before making your decision. This could help silence any of the public's lingering questions regarding your former Vice President and the Livia Suno affair. You have the chance to be a hero, think about the island in the future. I hope you'll make the right decision. I will approve the creation of the bill and support it in the Assembly. It's all the excitement to come muster. You did it. We did it. It's not over yet, Monica. The true battle is with you. Like, I was always gonna say yes. You haven't done anything. You need to convince the Assembly. I'll start gathering names for the Commission tonight. Love you, Anton. I'll see you at home. Ah, so nice. Hopefully that'll do some good. Okay, what else do we have? Swordish League of Women donation. Yep, I'll donate the money we have. Rain makes donation to Swordish League of Women. As Swordish women continue to march for equality, Anton Rain showed his solidarity by donating a large sum to the Swordish League of Women. This was not only a generous gesture, it marked for the first time a president of Swordsland acknowledged and personally supported the women's rights struggle. Reached for comment, a spokeswoman from the League expressed her gratitude to Rain while emphasizing that political policies will help the women's cause much more than finances. Anton Rain donates to support women. Will policies follow? President Rain made an unusually large out-of-pocket donation towards the Swordish League of Women, but has yet to budge on women's rights. I made gender equal education. For fuck's sake. Some Rain's defenders argue that the issue has always been on his agenda, but had to take a backseat as other, more urgent priorities sprang up in the first half of this term. This donation could be an indication that they're right, or an empty gesture made to placate them without angering Rain's conservative base. Okay, see, who are we gonna make vice president? So, Vice President Gala, what do you think? Alright, listen, you're on a hell of a strategist. Why should I make you VP? It's precisely in my capability as strategist that I have evaluated the experience and capabilities of your potential Vice Presidents. Objectively, I am by far the most qualified candidate. I would advise you not only to think about our long history together, but also the many crises I have helped shepherd you through. I won't say much beyond that. I believe my work speaks for itself. Public might gossip about your lack of a wife. Such a valuable strategist. As Vice President, my ability to serve you in this administration will only increase. I expect you will make the right decision. Okay, Lucian, I'm tempted to make you my Vice President. Unless someone can get me votes. Who's Gloria again? Speaker of the Assembly, and she has the Conservatives. I might need her for the votes. I was not surprised at all when my name was put forward. Tell me why I should pick you. What I bring to the table is years of experience. I have been a member of the Assembly for almost 20 years, and I spent the last 7 as its Speaker. This alone speaks for itself. As you know, I am also the leader of the Conservative wing of the party. You can see what I'm getting at. Yeah, exactly. You become the Vice President, and I get the votes from the Conservatives. Precisely. This would allow us to pass bills far more easily, especially if those bills are aligned to my bloc's causes. They won't be. I'll think about it. I want you to know that I value order over everything else, Mr. President. Being the Speaker of the Assembly requires principles, nerves like steel, and determination to uphold proper conduct. You can expect to see the same of my Vice Presidency. You being a woman could also prove advantageous. Not just any woman, a strong woman who's been able to protect order in a room of unruly men for 7 years. Think about the message it would send: the first woman vice president of Suzerain, no, the first woman vice president in the whole continent. What support you would lose among traditionalists, you would gain tenfold among Swordish women. Yeah, politically, she's the best choice. Like, Lucian has been an invaluable right hand. But politically, especially right before an election, Gloria is the better choice. There's so much to gain, I'll consider it. Who's this guy again? By National Assembly, yada yada yada. Oh, this is the leader of the Liberal Party, of the Liberal wing of the party. It's a great honor to have been chosen as a candidate. Why should I pick you? I think you already know the answer. As you know, I represent the reformist wing of the party. Yep, I already have you on my side. Why would I need to pick you as vice president? We can do that, I'm not sure. However, this will only be possible if we set aside our differences, yada yada yada. I didn't ask about your opinions. What can you provide me with? The fact is, if I am the vice president, reformist members of our party will be more likely to support you and your causes. They already are likely to support me. This will smooth the passage of bills. If you join the administration, that is. That makes sense. This country needs more dynamic, youthful leadership. Look at you, President Rain. You became the youngest member of the Assembly and completely rejuvenated Swedish politics. I want to do the same. We need to be able to take risks and make gains. You don't really offer anything to me. Like, sure, you're the leader of the reformists, but the reformists are already on my side. I don't really gain anything by making you vice president. I would also like to remind you that you promised me a position in exchange for my support at the Assembly. We'll see. I trust your judgment. Yeah, I did, but it didn't pass. I'll consider what you said. Interesting. Very interesting. I am going to leave the vice presidential selection. No. Okay, no, I'm gonna do this episode. Lucian is the person I most trust, but Gloria is gonna benefit me more politically. She brings the votes, and really that's what you need the vice president for. You usually, at least in the American sense, you pick a vice president that brings you the votes that you can't get personally. So I'm gonna make Gloria the vice president. I'm sorry, Lucian. Ashraf anniversary is coming up soon, the most important day for the Polish populace. Watani Ashraf is one of their symbols, as you know. Your presence in this event will show your desire for a more unified Scotland. Can I talk to Lucian about the vice president thing? We will reap the benefits if you decide to go, I'm sure. You're right. Be careful with that box. Mr. President, Mr. Galav, I want you ready to work as soon as possible. Are you settled in it? Getting there, Mr. President. That reminds me. Mr. Galat, could you talk to the staff secretary for me to get the furniture started here? I have a few more boxes coming in. I'm sorry, Lucian. We need her. We need her support. We've pissed her off before, and it massively backfired on us. Not your servant, Mrs. Story. Just simple request, Mr. Galat. I don't know what's with you, but I don't like your attitude. Yeah, that's the job of an office secretary, not our chief strategist. Like, you're vice president because you're politically useful to me. You're not gonna disrespect my staff. As I said, it was just a simple request. I do not understand why it's becoming such a huge deal. Because you're making me regret picking you, Gloria. I will present you with the options to the Ashras matter later. Let's get back to the move. Thank you for visiting, Mr. President. Yep, don't care. Fuck off. I'll call you when I need you to get me votes. Glad to have you here. I want you to try to get along with Lucian. And that is gonna be it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. Please do leave a like, comment, subscribe to everything that makes the algorithm happy. As always, I have been Pope, and I will see you all next time.